Hey guys, for our third example of the power rule, what I've done now is we call this a power of a quotient rule, where I've got a quotient or a division problem on the inside of the parentheses, and then the entire thing is being raised to a power. So in the case of something like this, you could go through and still just apply the power rule, where we either write this in expanded form and multiply this fraction times itself, or you could go through and apply this power from the outside to everything on the inside. But what I'm going to suggest that we do first, when thinking about order of operations, we're instructed to do solve parentheses or grouping symbols first, and then exponents. So in this case here, when I look inside of my parentheses, I can actually see that this quotient can be simplified first, and then I can apply the power rule with the exponent on the outside. So what I'm going to begin doing here is I'm going to first simplify this fraction. Since I have a 3 in the numerator and no other numbers or coefficients in the denominator, I know that that 3 is going to stay in the numerator in my answer. And so, again, I know that I have some quantity that is going to be raised to the second power here. And all I'm doing is simplifying the inside. So I've got a 3 that's left over. When I have m squared divided by m, that's just going to leave me with just one m, and it's in the numerator. And then when I have n to the 7th, I know that, again, that will also not cancel with anything in the denominator because there's no n's in the denominator to cancel with it. So I leave left with n to the 7th here. Now what we're noticing is that it's really all just numerator right here. I don't even have a denominator that's left over. So I don't need to write 1. I could put all over 1, but we know that that's pretty much unnecessary when dealing with fractions. So I can go ahead and actually just leave this whole thing as 3m n to the 7th quantity squared. What we do now is just apply the basic power rule that we learned from the first video or the second video. And so in this case, now what we do is this exponent gets applied to everything inside the parentheses. So we get 3 squared, we get m squared, and then in this case we end up getting n to the 14th. The only difference that we need to do now is to simplify by solving 3 squared, which is 9. So we have 9 times m squared times n to the 14th, and that's our final answer.